Hi, everybody.
Hey
Happy
all,
Thursday.
hope your day's going well.
Happy Friday Eve, as I like to call it.
It got cold here, although the sun's starting to come out, which I'm happy about.
Yes. Everyone must have been in the waiting room eager to learn about the revenue engine today. So that's
Yeah, we got lots of
exciting.
people already. Love it.
Hey, Judy.
Yeah, if you guys are feeling up to it, hey Judy, throw your name, where you're from in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, introduce yourself to some fellow yodelers. Hi, Emery.
Hey Lisa, Ryan, got a
Awesome. Thank you
visitors
guys so
bureau
much for
on
joining.
board. Nice. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes, guys, and then we'll get started. Hey, Sandpaper Marketing Team, glad you guys are on board.
It's probably much warmer where they are.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, Jamie. Guys, Jamie, I'm not sure if everyone can see it in the chat what others are saying, but we also have special guest Bastrop Regional Chamber out of Texas. They were one of our beta users for the revenue engine over the last couple of months. So we've invited them to kind of speak on their experience. So you get to actually hear from somebody who's been using this. So we're really appreciative of their team joining today. Thanks, Jamie. And I think Becky might even be on the call today as well.
Hey, Jenna, it's good to see you here too. Corey, we are recording this as well, right?
We are, yes. So I
Perfect.
think we can probably get started, Rachel, and I'll keep an eye on the chat and everything.
Great. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining today. We are super excited that you are here and interested in activating your revenue engine. As Corey mentioned, we do have special guest Jamie Haney with the Bastrop Area Chamber of Commerce. They saw some great success with using the portal during the beta phase. So she's going to talk a little bit about her experience and maybe give some recommendations on how to use it. But first, what we want to dive into is really just an intro to what this is. A lot of you, some of you have been with us for quite some time. And you know that this has been something that we've been talking about for a while. So we're really excited to kick it off. And what is so exciting about the revenue engine is the ability for you to generate some immediate revenue because it is one of the top viewed pages on your website. So, people in your community, whether they are a local advertiser who may or may not even have events on the calendar, can actually purchase ads in one of three spaces on this calendar. There's also going to be an opportunity for local event organizers to boost their events, which for all you chambers or member organizations on the call, this is a huge benefit that you're offering your members right now. This is something that you are offering this for free to them. And so for a nominal fee, they can get these events boosted on your calendar to even expand their reach even more. And so we're excited about offering this opportunity to them and to you because we want you to be able to start making some money off this. Okay. So let me jump over to walk you through the Bastrop Regional Event Calendars website right now. Would love to show you exactly where these ads are living. So there are three zones that you have access to activate. One is the banner ad. And each space is going to rotate. So you could sell multiple spaces in each of these zones. We also have the event card ad, which is really going to get a lot of visibility because the cards are going to show up as you're scrolling through the calendar, as you can see here. And they'll even start popping up even when you're loading more events. So maximum visibility with these event card ads. They also, we also provide an opportunity to do like a click-through URL. So the advertiser can land that person on any page that they want. It's extremely simple for your local advertisers to purchase ads through the revenue engine. All they have to do is click promote your business, and then they'll be able to select the zone or zones that they want to advertise on. So we have these three spaces, and you will be able to choose which spaces you want to activate. We definitely encourage activating all three. What's exciting too about this is you can select the pricing. We do have a lot of recommendations for you on where you can start with this if you're feeling a little stumped. And Jamie will share a little more information about about their approach that they took. But before we get to that, I just want to show you how simple it really is to purchase an ad on the calendar. The advertiser selects the dates, they select their image and the click-through URL. They'll fill out their information and continue to purchase. And we are using Stripe for all purchases. It is one of the most widely used systems for things like this. If you have any specific questions about how Stripe works, feel free to throw that in the chat. I also want to point out too, and I should have said this, if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to just throw those in the chat. We will be addressing those in a Q&A at the end of the session today. But very, very simple for them to check out, pay. As soon as they click that button, you get notified that an advertiser wants to purchase an ad on your calendar. So you do have full control over approving these ads. Okay. Very similarly, the boosting feature is the same process, but the only difference is when they click this button, all these little Boost Me stickers appear in the upper right-hand corner of the event card. So the event organizer can simply pick that event that they want to boost and choose to boost that. And what's kind of cool about this is it doesn't have to be Main Street Yoga that chooses to boost it. It could virtually be anyone in the community that chooses to boost it, which could potentially be coming in handy with situations like boosting fairs or farmers markets, things where there's multiple people in the community all participating and hosting that same event. So that is how this appears from the advertisers and event organizers side of things. Corey's going to walk you through shortly how to do this on the back end. And I think a lot of you have already seen how this works on the front end, but don't hesitate to let us know if you have any questions in the chat about anything I just shared there. So the core features of the revenue engine is that it is a self-service portal, you guys. So you have the businesses have full flexibility to make these purchases very simply with just a few clicks, as you saw. As you also saw, we've got those three ad zones and the boosting feature. Those are flexible placement options. You have access to activate those or deactivate those. Then we've got full control. So you're going to stay totally in charge of approvals, pricing, etc. And you'll be able to track the revenue that you earn directly in your dashboard. So one other thing I want to share with you is what the boosted event looks like. You might have been wondering how that appears. Couple things. So with the boosted events, it's going to show up as essentially like it's showing up as two cards, the space of two cards on the calendar. And the other thing it will do is pin it to the top of your calendar. So you all are familiar with the featured event feature. That will pin that event to the top as a featured event. You still have access to manually feature events as you're currently doing, so no worries there. The other exciting thing about this is if you have turned on the subscribe feature, which really hope you have, we've seen some really awesome success with that subscribe feature. 70% of people are opening those emails right now, you guys. It's huge. That immediately delivers return visitors to your website. And if someone boosts their event, they're also going to be included in that weekly email that folks get on Sundays with those featured events. So it is really a no-brainer to boost the event, especially when you're starting to build that subscriber list.
Yeah.
Corey, anything you feel I missed on the front end side of things?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe something to well, actually, one thing to mention that we'll cover when I go through how to set this up on your end is you can include placeholder images as well, which we strongly encourage as you guys get in there and activate this because it helps give your site visitors a really clear visual of what these advertisement spaces look like and maybe, what their ad might look like on there as well. But a couple questions came in through the chat that I think we can pause and look at really quick. Lisa, I think we answered your question. Hers was, what does a boosted event look like on the front end, which is what you guys are seeing right here on Rachel's screen. And then Judy, this is why we love you because you bring great ideas and we are working on this feature. So Judy asked if there was a way to offer discounts with a promo code. She's with the chamber and thinking that members could get a discount, which is exactly our thinking as well. So our team is currently in development to create that sort of promo code feature where you could offer discounts to members or whomever you feel, whoever you see fit. So that is coming.
Yeah, great
Um,
questions.
let's see. We had one more question come through.
Lisa, samples of boosted and promoted flyers to be able to share with members. Yes.
Great
So we
question.
actually are going to be providing you with a little promo kit similarly to the one you already have access to promote the calendar, but in this case, it'll be more related to the revenue engine. So we'll be sharing that with you in the coming week as well. Great question, Lisa.
Yep. And I think that answers Naomi's question as well about a one pager that shows examples of the ads and how they would display. Yep, we will get that in your hands very soon.
Awesome. Great. Well, with that, we're excited to introduce Jamie. We've been partnered with the Bastrop Chamber for almost a year now. They've been absolutely stellar. And they are a highly rated chamber. Jamie, remind me again what award you guys just won in the past year.
We've won numerous awards, but we actually achieved five-star accreditation with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So
That's
I
awesome.
received that in November. So one of 100 the number varies every quarter because they do accreditation quarter, but it's about 160, 170 chambers across the United States that have that.
Congratulations again.
So
So
yeah,
exciting for you guys.
really excited about that.
Well,
That's
we're
So
excited to have you on board. I'm going to turn it over to Corey. I think she's got some questions for you related to your success with this.
okay.
Yeah, so Jamie, just to kind of to kickstart it, I'd love to just hear over the last couple of months how you and I know your entire team has kind of been working on this endeavor. What were some of the key success points during your experience so far? I mean, obviously you guys have made quite a bit of sales. You've earned over $460 worth of revenue in those first 2 months. So what do you think attributed to that?
I think that we brought added value to our members to be able to promote their events, outside of just them posting them on Facebook and then paying to boost those ads. As our calendar has become kind of the source of event information in the Bastrop region, it has more visibility than, Facebook events and for people that are looking for things specific to do in Bastrop. And we've seen good success with some of our members who do fundraising events. They really like to boost those and community events. And they like that they don't have to be, placing outside of the ad part of it. They like that they're not having to post their event in two different places. Because they used to have to
Absolutely.
provide it to us and get it approved and go through that whole process all over again. So, I think that that's the biggest thing is bringing that added value and helped position us as an additional resource for our members. We're not necessarily a marketing and advertising agency, but this is something that's given them the ability to promote those events.
Absolutely. So what would you recommend for all those who are on the call today what would you recommend as maybe a first step as they're trying to communicate with members or just local businesses in their area to get them to be encouraged to promote or boost their upcoming event?
I think identifying the businesses that are most likely to benefit from this or to implement it first and start small instead of sending it out to the masses
Okay.
to, still share with everybody that's in their group, but identify those first and try to get them on board and having some of those success stories to share or testimonials from other people I think is a big deal. So that's what I would suggest is not, just trying to get everybody on board at once, get some people on there and get some results going.
Absolutely. And any other feedback that you want to share or recommendations, things that you'd encourage these other yodelers to do as they start on this endeavor?
I think it's been a positive experience for us. It's a new thing. We've only been on board with Yodel since November. So having this added value for our members and for us, I mean, it's not so much about the revenue that we're generating, it's about the value that we're bringing to our members. And, from time to time, I mean, we've had people who want to get on our calendar that aren't members. So we haven't yet structured that for them, on a kind of pay to play type thing. We'd rather get them on board as a member first rather than just to be on our calendar. So I think being willing to experiment with the calendar. I know we use it ourselves to feature some of our key events as placeholders, like you were talking about earlier, and
Yeah.
staying on top of those and keeping them current. When we promote luncheons, okay, well, that changes every month. So we have to make sure that we stay on top of that and keep it current and do the maintenance on the calendar. That's really important. Corey, we've gone back and forth trying to fix the blood drives, that shows up on the calendar every single time.
Right.
And you've helped us, figure out how to fix that so our calendar's not full of, blood drive appointments. And I think, focusing on the long-term value that you're bringing to your members or to those in your organization, not just the short-term wins, because, how much did you say it was? $400 that we earned over the quarter?
462 to be exact so
Four
far
hundred
in the
and
beta.
$62. So that's great, and we truly
Yeah.
appreciate that. But, that's not what has driven us to do this. That's
Okay.
a nice bonus for us to have, but
Yeah.
overall, our whole experience with Yodel has been great. I feel like we've kind of been the guinea pig on a lot of different aspects of it, and you guys have always taken our comments to heart. And I see improvements, and I think I saw something. Every time I go in there, it's like, oh, well, that's different. So still some tweaks, that could be made, but overall, we're very pleased with our experience and with the beta test that we've done as well. So look forward to continuing with that.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time to share about that. And before we move on, Rachel, could you maybe check the chat and see if there's any questions that have come through?
Great question, Corey. Doesn't look like any have come through yet. But yes, if anybody has any specific questions for Jamie, feel free to throw them in there.
Okay. Thanks again, Jamie. What we're going to do next, you guys, is move on to actually helping you get set up with this revenue engine today. This is available on everybody's account that's on this call. So what I would encourage you to do, if maybe you have another screen up at your desk is to log into Yodel, and you can follow along with me as I go through how you get this set up and ready to go to start selling these advertisements and boosted events. So, and let me know, Rachel, if you can see this Yodel account here. I want to make sure everyone can see this. Awesome. All right. So if you're logged in to Yodel, you'll notice this little revenue engine guy here at the top. This is where you manage and monitor revenue, etc., all around this new portal. One thing to note as well, we will be emailing everybody after the call today. We have some great help content that walks through everything I'm about to go through with you today, and tips, things of that nature. So don't worry, we have some content for you. But I really just want to go through the dashboard first, and what all is available here. So like Rachel mentioned, we have 3 different ad zones and you'll be able to activate them here. We'll walk through that today. You can also activate event boosting. So you don't necessarily have to activate both. You can choose boosting or advertisements or both. We obviously encourage both to give you more of an opportunity. As these start coming in, you'll start to be able to monitor revenue per ad zone or boost zone. And you'll also be able to see what ads need approval. So something that we haven't noted or touched on yet is what happens on your end when somebody submits an advertisement. You are going to get an email notification and a notification right here on the revenue engine page to either approve or reject that advertisement. If those advertisements aren't approved within 24 hours, they're just auto approved. Those can be removed in the future if need be. But that makes it easy for you to check in on those and let those go through to your calendar. And what's really nice about those notifications as well, and this is feedback we heard through the beta, through Jamie and other users, is you can actually put additional emails in here, so that if you want everyone on your staff to get notified when an advertisement's purchased, you can add their email addresses in here so that somebody's always got an eye on when these come through, especially because there's only that 24-hour holding period. Then finally, again, as these boosts and ads start to come through, you'll be able to see a table view of all of them here on this page where you can filter by zone, status, or even by the organization who chose to advertise. So I want to walk you through how to activate these ad zones. So if you're in the account and following along, just select Activate Ad Zone here. And just a few different things that you need to do to get started. So first, you're going to select your ad location. This is the zone. Again, we have 3 to choose from. We're going to start with the banner ad. Choose which plugin you want to activate this for. So I know many of you on the call actually manage multiple calendars. So you'll want to make sure to activate the zones for all of your calendars if you want to sell ads on all of them. You can set the price. Again, we do have a document with some recommendations on where to start, but this is totally customizable. You can change it at any time. And then you can also select the minimum number of days that this ad can be purchased. So if you wanted to make sure that anybody who chose a banner ad, it has to be up there for a week, you can make the minimum number of days 7. Or if you don't care if they purchase 1 day or 100, you can just keep that at 0 and not worry about any minimums. Then this option here that I mentioned earlier, really recommend you do this and include these placeholder images because it gives the users a look and feel of how this is going to work. You can upload a placeholder, you can put a redirect URL, you might even put the URL to your revenue portal. That would be a really easy user experience. Hit save. So you'll want to do this for every ad zone you want to activate and every calendar you want to activate it on. So if I want to activate all 3 on all 3 of my calendars, I should have 9 ad zones by the time I'm done. And then same thing for activating event boosting. This one has a few less steps. All you have to do is select the plugin you want to activate this on and set the price per day. These can be paused or edited at any time. And then the calendar and the portal on your calendar will update automatically. Does anybody have any questions?
Lisa asked a size of placeholder, and I'm going to throw this in the chat. It's 970 by 250. And we're going to be providing some default placeholders you can put in as well.
Yes. So in that, you guys will get a link in your email today with the link to our help articles where you can find all the tutorials, all the sizes for these advertisements, as well as those placeholder images that you can download and upload if you don't want to create your own. Canva is a great tool to use if you want to create your own placeholder images. That's actually the tool we use to create ours.
Lisa also said she only sees 2 ad zones. Lisa, I might have to look into that for you. You're not seeing, are you only seeing banner ad and event ad? And then also Lisa wanted to know, so she needs to keep the banner as her sponsor. How would she deactivate that?
So if you didn't want the banner ad to be available for purchase, then you just wouldn't activate that ad zone. So if you just wanted to sell ads on the event ad or the event details ad, just activate those two and you can leave the banner ad as is. Any other questions? Okay. Well, like I said, everybody who's on the call today, you have access to the revenue engine. You can get started right away in activating these zones, setting your prices, and starting to promote out to your members, local businesses. So we're really excited to support you along with that. So we will stay in really close touch with you as you're getting rolling. But we also, I'm going to hand it back over to Rachel now to talk more about the revenue piece, which I'm sure is maybe a question in everyone's mind. How do you get paid? What are the terms of this new feature, et cetera? So Rachel's going to go into a little more detail on how that works.
Yeah, obviously, gotta know what's in it for you guys here. 50/50 revenue split. So we are going to be splitting this evenly down the middle for you guys. 50% is going to go to your organization, 50% to Yodel. We will be paying these out quarterly. So you can expect all revenue payouts to be issued quarterly on the 10th of the month following the end of each quarter, either by ACH or mailed check. Now, this is super important here. So, we do have an addendum to our agreement that absolutely must be signed along with your payout details before your organization can receive its first payment. So you definitely have plenty of time to do this, but just know that before the end of the day tomorrow, you are going to receive a DocuSign link from me. It's a very short addendum, but we will just need that signed from you so we can add that to your file as well for accounting purposes. Any questions or concerns about that, feel free to direct those to me.
Any questions on any of that?
And like I said earlier, you guys are going to be able to track your revenue earned directly in your dashboard. So you'll be able to see that at all times. We want to make this super seamless for you. So hopefully the agreement is not going to take too long. But just take a look at that when you get it and let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. So as far as what happens after today's webinar, so be sure to check your inbox in the next 30 minutes to an hour for all the details and help content that you need to get started. And then, like I said, over the next week or so, we're going to be staying in close contact with you as you guys are getting started. And of course, at any time, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with Rachel and myself, we'd be happy to do that. So that we can help support you as best we can as you're getting started. But activating that revenue engine, just like we walked through just a moment ago. And then once that's ready, spreading the word, using some of those tips that Jamie mentioned, maybe starting small with key organizations that you know would really be excited about this. And then use them as some testimonials that you can then share on a broader scale. And then of course, you'll start earning right away from any of those sales. So I do want to open it up. It looks like we had another question come in from Naomi, and this is the end of our deck here. So we want to make sure any questions get in the chat before we hop off. But it looks like Naomi said in the ads that need approval section, does the system indicate if the interested organization is already registered as an organization in Yodel? That's a great question. Right now, there is not an indication of or a connection between whether they are in Yodel or not. So they don't have to be in Yodel. They don't have to be an organization with events to submit an advertisement on your calendar. That being said, though, if someone locally submits an advertisement or boosts an event and you know or recognize that they aren't in Yodel yet, then you can submit them right from your dashboard to be included in Yodel moving forward. But they don't need any sort of Yodel account or any access to Yodel at all in order to be able to advertise on the calendar.
Great question, Naomi.
Any
Anybody
other
else have any
questions?
questions?
Okay. Well, we did record this session. We are going to get that in your hands as well, in case you want to share this with any staff members, team members as well. And just be on the lookout for an email from me here today with those next steps and helpful links. And we really appreciate your partnership and joining in on this webinar today to learn about this new feature. It's been a long time coming, and we're really, really excited to provide this for you guys. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining. We appreciate it and excited to see
Yeah.
what you guys can do with this. And like Corey said, let us know if you need anything or need any support. We're here for you.
And Jamie, thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great
Jamie.
day, guys. Talk to you soon.